What up, my friends? How you doing? How you doing? I know that I am behind the curve time-wise, and I'm just catching up to other people, but The Boys' fourth season is starting off pretty rough, man. Pretty rough. Anyways, let me grab the live stream link, share it in the Discord, and then we shall talk about things. We shall discuss the things that have occurred. All right, let's see here. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Okay, there we go. That's good. Man, I got a hilarious little pop-up on my desktop right before the stream started. And I mean, I guess technically the stream was already ongoing with the beginning, we're starting the stream kind of stuff on the screen. But it just popped up. I've never seen this before. And it was, are you ready for your Bing year in review? It's become a thing that more and more companies just email you, your year in review. Do you want to see your year in review? Amazon does it. I know YouTube does it. Facebook does it. There's all these like year in review. But this was your using of Bing and Edge, using Edge. It was like Edge year in review. So like Edge, who uses the Edge browser? And it's featuring things that people have done. That's basically what it said the equivalent of. And then I stared at it for a second going, what is this? And then it just slid off the screen because they do after a little bit. But why would I be interested in that? There's so many little variants of that kind of thing. And most of them, if it's something you're super engaged with and you want to see your whole year in review, then I could see the excitement, a montage. Oh, remember that moment? Remember when we did the yoga with the goats? Remember that? You know, and just, I guess, kind of things like that. But ultimately, everybody's getting in on it. And just like random operating systems and like web browsers. Hey, are you ready for your year in review with us? Imagine if a year in review of the web browser was showing you a montage of all the stuff you watched, even if you had it set to some kind of like incognito mode, and it's just like, here's a montage of your year. And it's just, oh, what have you been up to? What have you been watching that you don't want people to know about? And it's just all these moments of you you secretly have been watching Sailor Moon incognito, and now all of a sudden it's emblazoned across your year, and people are just, coming to your house dressed like Tuxedo Mask with the rose, ready for love. Anyways, you know what? I didn't even do the hellos yet, have I? I got so off track by that little notification, that weird little option that I was offered, that I had to talk about it before it completely left my mind because it's not significant enough to exist in there for any real length of time. All right, so what's up? Who do we got in here? How's it going? DB, Jess, Corner, Eng, Millmaster, Gossett, Yamagoro, Kevin, Joe, Gianna, Fisher, System, Zircon, Kensuke, Spurl. Who else is in here? Juglum, Teferi, Dragon, Christopher, Eddie. What's up? How's it going, guys? Time for Grizzlebrand to be unbanned in EDH has been reprinted too many times just not to. They're going to. At some point, as far as I'm concerned, they'll unban all of that stuff in Commander, right? With the Innistrad Remastered, they don't have to unban it yet because they can just sell it to you based on nostalgia and, oh, check it out, get your Innistrad stuff. He's one of the bigger, beefier boys, and they can move packs that way. But later, once they don't have the excuse of returning to Innistrad the same way, then they can go, oh, hey, we unbanned Grizzlebrand, and guess what? He just happens to be in this new set that we're making. That's what I think's going to happen. I think, like, they're going to basically stagger things to a point where every time they unban cards in Commander, they have the cards available in an upcoming product. And they'll probably make that a standard practice, something along the lines of, because we're dedicated to improving the community of Commander and making sure everybody has access to everything. Whenever we unban a card to ensure there's enough supply for everybody, we're going to make sure that we print it in an upcoming Magic set shortly after the unbanning announcement. And then they'll just be like, oh, we printed it in the alternate, like the Critters version. We did that kind of thing over here. And they're only available in collector boosters. I could see it. Jess, nope. I did not see the lady dressed as the Crow. I did not. But I did recently see a little bit of that clip of the South Park episode where the devil is having a Halloween party and he keeps yelling at everybody that nobody can be dressed up like the Crow. And it's because he wanted to be dressed up like the Crow. So he makes this huge deal of it. And it's pretty funny because the Crow, I liked that movie. The new Crow is apparently awful. But I liked the original Crow. Spurl Super Chat says, just always wanted to be first. Well, today, your thirst for first has been quenched. I mean, I could have said quirst, but that rhymes. Unfortunately, it's also nonsense. Spurl! Taking the board, going for a whirl. Here we go. Thanks for the super chat, big boy! Raider, oh, you're getting all up in the Sailor Moon? I'm not surprised. What up, Octopus? How you doing, buddy? Error, you want all lands gone in Commander? Well, that will definitely lead to only degenerate plays. No lands! Everything's free. That way you can have 100 non-land cards in there. Of course, Jeweled Lotus won't be any good anymore. Fast Mana won't mean anything. When everything's free, nothing is. Whatever that means. Paul, you're sick of seeing partners? Well, I don't know. All I can say to you is don't go down to the country western bar where they're doing square dancing, right? Because then you'll see all kinds of partners. Spin your partners round and round. Don't go to the park and look at the happy couples. Stay at home and listen to REM or whatever. Just a lady is on his nightstand and dressed like a crow. She makes a bird noise. Dude he gets scared. Like he's being electrocuted and makes you laugh good. Some people's reactions to stuff can be genuinely enjoyable, man. Watching somebody like freak out can have a certain level of amusement to it. So I get you. Luke, do I think they'll reprint any of the Doctor Who? Or do I think it'll go up since they did a one-time printing for it? I think that the answer to both of those questions is probably yes. So I don't think that they will ever reprint anything like, for example, let's say there is one of the Doctor's iterations is called Dr. Butt Toucher. They're never going to reprint Dr. Butt Toucher. Okay? Like, you're never going to see, oh my God, Dr. Butt Toucher is the random special guest in this set. That won't happen. Cards like dinosaurs in space, dinosaurs on a spaceship, whatever. Any generic name that isn't specifically tied to a property, right? They can reprint that without any problems whatsoever. So any of the Time Lords, all those, you won't see reprints of those. But when it comes to things like Dr. Butt Toucher, right? What they'll do with those, if let's say Dr. Butt Toucher becomes $100 mythic or something like that, and you're just like, whoa, okay, $100, what? And everyone's like, but I want this. It's so expensive. Wizards will look at that and go, well, we can't make Doctor like butt toucher because the BBC, whoever owns Doctor Who, they own it. So it's like we can't use that. That's their property. But we can make Captain Butt Toucher, who is just he's actually called Captain Hand Slapper, and he has the exact same abilities. So they can reskin. They can do reskins like they've done with the Godzilla and other Secret Lair cards, and that way they can reprint big ticket items from the Doctor Who cards that don't have more generic names. So I don't know exactly how many cards from Doctor Who fall into the category of they won't reprint them, but I presume, and this is just a presumption, but I presume that over time, because there won't be an increased supply of these Doctor Who versions of the cards. So as more people become aware of Magic and find out there's Doctor Who cards, I want some, but there's no increase in supply, it's logical to think that they would go up in value, right? You can't say anything with certainty, but so the specific themed Doctor Who stuff, that stuff they're going to have to reskin to reprint, which means they can't make the exact same flavored versions, and anything else can just be reprinted with no problem. Fisher, you're glad you snagged the Doctor Who Secret Lair? Did you get all 4? Jess, yeah, that's not how it works. NFTs don't give you the ownership of a franchise. That does make me think of... You guys know the Bored Ape NFTs, right? NFTs, obviously, could have theoretically been something if they didn't become purely the provenance of scammers, where it's just like, yeah, scammy. So with the whole NFT situation, you've got like, oh look, you can own this, and we're gonna give you these rights with it and whatever else, and it doesn't really mean anything. Like there's literally a bunch of little digital pictures of apes that looked just bored, I guess, wearing captain hats and in different jackets and stuff, and these were sold to people as investments. Like, check it out, buy a bored ape. And so Buddy from who make Robot Chicken or whatever, he ends up getting one of these bored ape NFTs, and he's making like an entire show around the character. But then he got hacked or something, and someone stole the NFT. So then he didn't own the character that he had made a show around, so he had to like buy the NFT back from the person who stole it. But meanwhile, NFT is just like, here's a web link. You're just paying for like a web link. It's not anything. NFTs are like nothing. They're like nothing. So that was a short-lived taking people's money. That's what that was. The people who made out on things like that were that little girl who was in a meme picture where there's a house on fire and she's in front looking all like, hey, like I'm happy about this fire or whatever. The chick in that picture sold an NFT of her picture for like $500,000. Great job. It's already a meme. Everybody's already using it everywhere. That's not going to change. You literally just managed to cash in on being a meme picture. Well done. But like, it's worthless. It's fucking worthless, man. Shit's a scam. Oh, just along same thing as crypto coins, man. So much of the crypto is scams. There's the few bigger cryptos that are a little bit more established, and while like I can't just straight out call Bitcoin a scam, because Bitcoin is imaginary digital alternate money that people have adopted and used, and it's just become kind of a thing. That's fine. But people coming along going, I'm making shoe coins. And it's like, what? Yeah. It's a coin with a shoe on it. Buy my shoe coins. And it's like, what is this? well, there's already 800 million coins, but this is my coin. And so, like, you buy it, and then we all get rich or something. Anyways, can I have your money? It's not a rug pull. And then people put their money in, and then they get the rug pulled out from under them, their money taken, and left with nothing. Big old scams. It's happening all over the place. And because the legal process to catch people doing this kind of stuff is slow rolling, and they're not really mobilized to act too quickly because mostly there wasn't this level of fraudulent insanity going on because people knew what the laws were, and it was like, okay, companies aren't going to pull this kind of shit, or law organizations are going to come down on them and be like, okay, nope, shut it down, massive fines, or you're just out of business, or criminal charges, whatever it is, all this kind of stuff. You're getting investigated. We're doing all of that. But then you just have any random jerk off on the internet. Like that one chick, I don't even think I've actually seen the clip. I just know it happens through people telling, like mentioning it, whatever. The Hawk 2 chick, right? The one where it's like, she's talking about a clip where she's talking about spitting on dicks, right? That's got to be what it is. I haven't actually seen the clip, but it was like a big thing. And then I forgot about it. And then, I don't know, like a month later or whatever it is, it's like, she has the #1 fucking podcast and whatever. And I'm like, really? That's amazing. That's hilarious. So it's like, now it's, I'm huge. I fucking said spit on a dick in an interview, and now everyone wants to know what I have to say. And it's like, hey, run with it. Have a good time. And then, like a month later, oh, hey, she's part of a fucking coin rug pull scam, and she's going to get in legal trouble. And there's all these people for the first, like, number of years of this crypto. There were people who were straight up just, like, making all these promises about what they were going to do. And then they basically just took the money and then went to the Discord and was like, who's the most active member here in the Discord? Okay, you're in charge of the project now. Bye. And they just left and kept the money. And then all of a sudden, people started getting prosecuted. And they came back and were like, hey guys, we're happy to be back. I'm ready to fulfill the promises that we made. Because apparently, legally, you can't just tell people you're going to do a bunch of stuff for them, take the money, and then go, okay, no takebacks, bye. And then just leave without delivering on your end. Lasagna, what's up? It is Thursday. How you doing, buddy? Paul, you're waiting for Hasbro's Tonka set? Yo, I loved Tonka trucks when I was a kid, man. Hardy metal? Good times. Good times. Edward, you're waiting for that Final Fantasy action. Well, you won't have to wait too much longer, right? That's one of the ones that's coming up sooner. Sooner rather than later. So yeah, I waited forever to get around to season 4 of The Boys. My relationship with The Boys has been interesting because the first season to me was amazing. My buddy actually told me about, he read the comic books first, so he knew about The Boys before they made it into a show. He had read it as a comics, and then they made the show. He told me about it. I checked it out and was instantly like, oh, cool, superheroes, but like corrupt versions of people who battle against them, and this is fun. This is great. And it mostly felt like, like a good time overall. And then by the end of season 3, I just kind of didn't care, really. It felt like overall. Like the first season was crazy to the point where I would delay other things that I needed to do to watch another episode because I'm like, yo, I need to see more now. Like right now, another episode. It demanded another episode. And then, yeah, by the time season 3 ended, I just went like, okay, Homelander blew up some dude's head and we're moving into a new time. So I came back to the show like basically yesterday, right? And I started off, Homelander is in charge of the Vought Corporation. So there's so much of the tension that was built around the Homelander character is gone, and there's like nothing to replace it. Homelander is just OP as fuck. And I will, like, I'm just talking, just so we're clear, I'm only talking about so far, like, the first half of season 4. So if it turns out that things deviate from this after that, fine, then maybe they can improve it. But ultimately, I found myself mostly underwhelmed and indifferent to the events of what's going on. Like, Homelander is in charge of Vought, and he's upset that people won't stand up to him. And he's just murdering who he feels like. He goes, like, it's the choices that are being made annoy me. Like, apparently one of the characters in this season now is the smartest chick on earth. She's just the smartest. She's smarter than everybody. Like, everybody. I'm so smart. Like megaton ultra smart. So how do they show that she's smart? Well, when Homelander shows up, she goes, wow, I'm surprised. That doesn't happen often. Like, she always knows what's going on. And then he comes into her apartment, and there's just stacks of books everywhere. Because, guys, she's really smart. So there's stacks of books everywhere. And I mean everywhere. Every inch of this place is just stacked with books because she's super smart. And just to make sure that we get it, she tells Homelander, I'm 8,000 times more smarter than you. You know? She's like, I'm 8,000 times smarter than you. And you're just like, you don't seem like it. You just live in a not great apartment and you have stacks of books kicking around. Like, if you're really 8,000, if you're 8,000 times smarter than anybody, what are you doing here? And also, like, imagine being 8,000 times smarter than everybody. It would be so difficult talking to anybody. Like, think about the dumbest fucking people you know, and imagine if everybody was the dumbest. Like, they're just so fucking stupid that it goes full on. It goes, actually, take it a step further into special needs. Imagine if everybody on the planet was essentially special needs but you. That would be the equivalent of, like, if you had an 8,000 times 8,000 times multiplier on the intelligence of somebody who's already above average intelligence, right? So it's just this, the show is going, look at this, man, a bunch of books, and she said she's way smarter than him. And then you watch it and go, is she going to do things that establish her as being really intelligent? And then you watch and you're just like, nope. Okay. She's 8,000 times smarter. That's like when we watched that movie Synchronicity. And this guy was like, oh no, Synchronic, not Synchronicity, Synchronic. And this guy's like, I'm a major ladies man. But like, the movie never backs him up on that. It's not played for comedic effect. Like, the movie expects us to believe this guy's a real ladies man, but he only ever talks about how he gets all these ladies and gives them to other people. And the only time we see him with the lady is at the beginning of the movie when she's just slept with him the night before and he goes to kiss her in the morning and she's just like, it was nice meeting you. Fucking handshakes him. The morning after gives him a handshake. And it's just like, oh. And then a bunch of times in the movie he keeps saying he's a ladies man and you just don't believe it. You just don't believe it. So it's the same thing with this chick. She doesn't seem like, I'm super smart, right? It's just, she's smart because we say she's smart. No, you got to make her smart, right? So yeah, it's just been mostly underwhelming. Like, Butcher is, oh, I've got 6 months to live. And I just don't care. You have 6 months to live, but the way that the show rolls, you could be here for 10 more seasons. 10 more seasons. Oh, Butcher's fucking dying. Oh no, look, he injected his fucking ball bag with Project Q because we just got all these different fucking letters and we can just fly by the seat of our pants level. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll turn it around. Boy, whatever. Fisher, you love her character. She gets better. She just doesn't seem like that intelligent. She seems barely above average intelligence, honestly. We're supposed to think she's smart because she's like, I know you wash your hands a lot, Highlander, so that's why your prostate's big. You're just like, okay, all right, show. Fucking sure. Fucking sure. And they cram in so much, like, over the top political garbage from the current time frame that it's also just a bit of that can be entertaining, but also the fucking flying vampire sheep, whatever. I get it. You can put Project V in animals and stuff, but it just, I was like, am I even watching The Boys anymore? Eddie says, thanks for the synopsis. I will not be watching this season. Here's the thing I'll say about the season. You can watch it. Like, I just quantify it as it's starting rough. It's not intolerable, right? And it's funny because I said to Carly, I'm like, do I just end up hating everything? Is that my problem? Like, do I always complain about everything? And she's like, no, like you really enjoyed the first season of Schmigadoon and the other things. First season of the Boils, all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. I just felt that way because it happened like twice basically today. The Boys, and we started the second season of Schmigadoon. Really liked the first season. Watched the first episode of the second season, and it was just like, oh, I don't think so. I don't like it anymore. What up, heavy metal? So, I don't know if I'm going to give it another episode, but I enjoyed the first season quite a bit. I'm not a musical guy, but it did have some fun, catchy songs, big, bright colors, and they were doing it based off of Brigadoon. And now the second season is based off of Chicago era musicals. And I'm not into musicals in the first place, but the Chicago era musicals have different musical tastes and everything, and all of it is just, I don't know. And the fact that all the people who were in Brigadoon are now in, all the people who are in Schmigadoon are now in this new setting as like different people means they're not people, they're just random constructs. I thought before it was people who got trapped in that world from different time frames, right? Like, that's what they made it sound like in the first season, is that like at different time frames, people got captured basically by the magic of this world. And so you have people from different eras who have come through here, and these guys are the newest and all that. And now it's just like, oh, they're almost like the robots from Westworld and not people. So you've fundamentally altered the structure of what your world is, and it's fine. You're just doing different musicals, but ultimately, Eddie, yeah, Westworld, yeah, exactly. It's the same kind of concept. Go through. You heard the season was pretty bad. Yeah, I mean, I don't. Sometimes when I wait to watch something, I go, oh man, I missed out. Why did I wait to watch this? I've been an idiot. And then other times it's just like, oh. So that's what this one's been. Edward, you're trying to watch new movies, but they're all like 2.5 hours long. Yeah, they make movies like way long now, bro. Part of that has to do with the fact that like that means more time spent on streaming services, right? I don't mind a longer movie when it earns its runtime. Like 2 hours. Ricky Bobby, I'm always surprised when I start watching that movie and it goes 2 hours. I'm like, 2 hours? That movie's an hour and a half. That's what I tell people, you know? It's like an hour and a half. You watch it, it's 2 hours, but it goes by like an hour and a half comedy because it's great. It's great. But, you know, that's things like Ricky Bobby. Then you've got things like Bad Boys Ride or Die, and that's 2 hours long. And it feels like an eternity. It's awful. A movie's length isn't a problem if the movie is really good and engaging. Sperl, are those more pretzels? I've got pretzels down here. No, these are the honey roasted almonds. I'm almost out. I'm almost out. The best movies are an hour and 35 minutes. You know, I really like hour and a half movies too. It's a great amount of time to tell a story, you know? Longer is alright too, but I'm less likely to watch a movie that's 3 hours long. It is too much, you know? I don't need a 3 hour long movie. And an hour and a half long movie is easier also to fit into a schedule, right? We're actually going to the mall on Monday. Carly was talking about wanting to go to see a movie there. I don't know if we'll do that while we're there because I like the theater, but I don't like the price. I don't like the price of stuff, so it is what it is. But yeah, we're gonna go to. We're gonna end up going to the mall where the theater is. We already made the plans for Monday. Carly wants to go and have an ice cream sundae, so we're gonna do that up. So I guess time will tell. Time will reveal its secrets to me, and I will find out if we're seeing a movie or not. Jess, that's true. There is no one size fits all automatically for movies. Eddie, yeah, I never experienced the actual intermission during movies. I remember intermission at like drive-ins between two movies because they'd play like a movie back to back. Spurl, the malls by you are slowly shutting down. No customers. I mean, how are they supposed to compete? How are you supposed to compete? A lot. It's not like malls. It's not like malls drop their rent rates. It's not like more people are going to go in overall. The nature of things is changing as more and more people become accustomed to shopping online. You know, give it more time, and that'll be like there'll be only niche stores and like fucking Walmarts, and that'll be like it. That'll be it. Just big box stores like Walmart and Costco's, and then niche boutiques. They're going to turn malls into housing, apparently. Oh, there you go, juggle them. Your mall took a closed business and turned it into apartments in the mall? That'd be pretty wild if the mall was alright. Living in a mall. You could pretend that people are zombies and you're trapped in the mall. Of course, they're still not going to let you wander around the mall when it's closed, right? They'd have some kind of like separate entrance and exit. But if you wanted to go and have like a coffee at the food court and hang out with the old folk. So yeah, man, the whole mall thing is a change, and I was never really a big mall guy anyways, you know? I'm not, most of the time, I'm not a like hang out at the mall kind of guy. It's mostly like a go shopping. Go shopping. But Carly wants to go and get a sandwich and ice cream on Monday. So that's what we're going to do. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. But most of the time I stay out of the malls unless it's like, I need item X. It is in this specific store in the mall. In I go, out I go, and I'm done. The only time I really like wander malls and look around at stuff is when I'm somewhere with time to kill. You know? Oh, look, I'm in Toronto for the weekend because I'm doing this thing, but I've got hours before I meet so-and-so and nothing specific I want to do. I guess I'll just wander through the Eaton Center because it's a gigantic mall with a ton of stores. And I can see the kind of stuff that they have for sale that they don't have around here too, right? Edward, you liked hanging out in the malls back in the 90s? I remember going to the malls when I was like in junior high. They had like mini golf and an arcade and stuff. But yeah, there's the malls. The malls seem to be on decline. The biggest mall, like the Penn Center or whatever, seems to have absorbed a bunch of the businesses from other malls. So it's kind of feeding on the lesser malls, you know, enticing their businesses away. What up, Grizzly? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, it's a weird time in history, man. It's a weird time. Everything's shifting around. But some of it works out. Everything seems to happen a lot faster than it used to. Crazy ideas come along and then they're gone. You got to adapt to a lot more stuff. So I feel it's rough for the old people. You know, trying to adapt to a crazy amount of change and all kinds of technology where I didn't grow up with a cell phone or a tablet or anything like that. And I didn't really have access to a computer on a regular basis until I was in my like teens, right? So I didn't start with a lot of crazy technology. A TV and a video, here you go, play on the Coleco or whatever, but nothing crazy. But I've dealt with a whole bunch of technology shifts throughout my life, so I'm accustomed to it. It feels faster now than it used to be, but that's all right. I'll take it. I'll take it when it's like, oh, look at my cell phone and look what this can do. It's amazing. Like, it's awesome. So, but it's not daunting to me that they're constantly going to be mostly it's just annoying to me when they're like, we are introducing our new edition, and it feels like everything says our new AI assisted this and AI assisted that, and it's like, okay, whatever, I don't care. Try saying I love muffins into your microphone. How about I fucking don't? I don't need any of this walkthroughs and tutorials about all these things. No, I don't care about these extra features, man. I don't care. Dragging your mall's dead. You haven't been there in years, and you drive by it every day to work. It's how it goes, man. It's how it goes. KB Toys. I remember the name, but I never really went to a place called that. Music stores with actual CDs. Yeah. Yep, I remember the CDs. Hell, I remember you could go and actually listen to them there. That's so funny. You go there and you go to like a little thing by the wall and you're just like, just standing there. Just standing there in the store up against a wall with other people, just like, looking at the CD. All right. And now you can just find anything you want on your phone, right? I want to know what this song is. I just heard a little bit of a song. You can just hold out your phone and go, tell me what this song is, phone. And the phone will go, here's the song. Here's where you can get it. It's amazing. It's amazing. Grizzly, when did I upgrade my camera? I don't remember when we switched, bro. I don't remember, but it definitely is better now. It definitely is better now. Fisher's membership message says it's snowing here. Take back your weather, perp. Nah, you have it. You get the snow. I'm chilling over here. I'm I'm chilling over here. I don't need it. I'm good without it. We already had Christmas, so I don't need a lot of snow. Video game demos in Walmart? I don't remember video game demos in Walmart. I remember they would be in like game stores and with McDonald's video rental places. You know, you go to a video rental place. It's all so quaint, man. It's all so quaint. Go to a video rental place to rent a big chunky black cassette, a tape, and get that VCR wine going on, a little bit of scrambling on the screen, all of it. Gotta get yourself one of those little red car auto rewinders, pop the tape in there. Man. Nishimoto, what's in the red box? Probably nothing. It had cookies in it. It's not there as some kind of temptation, but there's something in there. There's something. Oh. Oh. That's what it is. There you go. That answers your question. That's what's in there. A piece of metal. Yeah, this is just a tin from cookies that Carly got during the Christmas break. Yeah, no, I believe it. Walmart having games loaded up that you could play, that makes perfect sense to me. Maybe they had it in my area too. I just never went to Walmart during that time frame in the video game area, you know? I rarely bought video games from Walmart until the Wii era. I remember when the Wii came out and I wanted a Wii so badly because they seemed so cool. Like, yeah, the graphics are kind of jank, right? But the motion sensing and everything seemed like a lot of fun. And it was. The Wii was great. I was very happy that I got one. But it was like impossible to get in my city, man. Every time we went to any Walmart or any place, they didn't have them. They didn't have them. Went to any video game store, they didn't have them. And one day, we're in the Walmart, and I'm like, I just want to go look in the video game section on the off chance that maybe, it had been no so many times that I basically given up hope. And then we go to the video game section, and I can see there's like Wii U boxes, and like we're talking. It's like, is that a Wii U? It's like, do you think there's a Wii U's in there? And there's this guy there waiting to get one. He's like, yeah, they're Wii U's. I asked the person who's working here if they have this one game that comes with the free controller, because if they don't have that, I'm not buying a Wii U right now. And like in my head, as soon as he was just like, yes, those are Wii U's, I was just like lasered in like, oh my God, we got to get it now. We got to jump on this. So as soon as that store employee came back and was like, no, we don't have this game, that guy was like, oh. And I was like, hey man, right away to the store employee. And I'm like, can I get a Nintendo Wii, please? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, and can I get Legend of Zelda? And can I get the extra controller? And we were just like grabbing up the system and the games because we had wanted one for a while, right? This was before I met Carly, obviously, because forever ago. But me and my girlfriend at the time were both just like, oh! And so we got all those. And we were like right into it, like, let's go. And then that other guy who had just been like, he kind of had an attitude about it too, like, I'm smart and also a little bit arrogant. I'm not buying the system unless I get the controller, the game, blah, blah. And in my head, I'm just like, I can't find this anywhere, and I've wanted one forever. I don't care. Let's go. Let's go. Like, what feels like forever, right? This was like shortly after launch, so it was awesome. So he was like, because we were like, oh, we'll get this. He was like, I'll take one too. Like, he totally just jumped on. He went from I'm not doing it. Oh my God, can I get one as well? Because it's like they only had 2 or 3. And they had them in stock nowhere. So it felt amazing. It felt amazing. I loved the original Wii. It was awesome. It was awesome. I also really like the Nintendo Switch. Nishimoto, it's a box of disappointment. Fisher, you have Chinese language version of Mulan. Jackie Chan voices the general. All right. Jess, you think you got a sweet shower curtain because it rainbow patterns? We've got one that looks like a window and like looking out upon a Christmassy snow. It's awesome. Well, it's not exactly Christmassy, just over a winter snow. It actually looks like a window from a distance. It's a pretty cool shower curtain. Sperl, every time you go to Walmart, there's a half-eaten bag of chips or a half-drank soda, and the rest is left on the shelf. People just opening stuff and eating it, right? Oh, speaking of people just kind of doing what they want, apparently, and this is nice to hear, they've been changing the laws. This isn't in Canada. This is like in the States or whatever. They've been changing the laws or changing enforcement rules around people shoplifting. I don't know if you guys saw I know some of you did, but there's like all this footage online of people literally going to places like Walmart. They take a shopping cart and they go up and they load up the cart with like big bags of dog food and things of Tide and all this stuff. And then they just leave without paying for it. And at some point, like all the big stores adopted this policy for legal reasons of we're not going to like have anybody touch them or stop them or anything like that because it could open us up to liability. And the police were like, we're not coming out unless it's of particular like level of value. So it was just kind of like people were able to steal a bunch of stuff and there was no real repercussions, which is shit for everybody involved. It's just like, oh, okay, all right, great. The big businesses will just have to up the cost of things so that everybody has to pay for your stealing or shut down. Either way, just fucking lovely. So these people are doing this shit and nothing's really coming of it aside from them getting away. And then they recently changed the laws and now all of a sudden people who are leaving with this stuff are just getting arrested outright. It's just like, wait, what? I'm getting arrested? Yeah, you are, and that's what you deserve. It's not just take shit. Like, I just wanted free stuff. Can't believe they changed the laws. Can't just take what I want. It's crazy. Edward, you haven't played the Switch yet? Switch is good. Fisher, your shower curtain has Starscream sitting on a throne. Starscream's awesome. So yeah, people, it's crazy that they think I can just like take this stuff, bro. You can't. You can't. The Switch 2 is coming out soon. Oh yeah. I didn't hear about that. Well, I mean, I probably did like vaguely, but not much. I heard about something from, what is it, the Consumer Electronics Show or something like that. They're making a health mirror that can read your health status when you're standing in front of it, which sounds impossible right now, but I don't know, man. I don't know how much is like big promises and how much is actually reality when it comes to this stuff, because technology just gets more and more impressive and wild. Like, yeah, AI is a flopping wild mess right now. It's a weird fish mutant beast slapping down at the shore. But at the same time, there's so much potential, and it's going to be able to do so much. Life's going to get weird. We're going to end up living in that, basically the game Paranoia. Jess, you want a PS5, but more you want a computer that can do what a PS5 does. That's how I feel about the consoles, too. I feel like if you're going to buy an expensive game console, you could just get a computer. And the computer can do everything. The only difference is, yeah, you can't play the specific exclusive games that console maker's offering. But that's not enough for me to feel like it's worth it to get something like a PlayStation. They're just too expensive for me to sink the money into. If I was rich and price was no issue, then yeah, I'd have both PC and expensive console. But I don't have that luxury of choice. So for me, it just seems way more practical and pragmatic to get a actual computer as opposed to the console. Switch 2 specs have started coming out. Might be a decent upgrade, but wait till it's out for a bit. Yeah, let them sort the kinks out. Edward, you don't need a health mirror to tell you when you that you're out of shape. Yeah, I mean, a regular mirror can tell me that with my eyeballs. Nishimoto, yeah, exactly. You authorized to wear that color shirt, comrade? Are you using a yellow pencil? Aren't you only red level clearance? Bro? Jess, you couldn't afford PS4 or PS5, so you got PS2? Honestly, you're making a dope choice, bro. PS2 is an epic generation of PlayStation, and there's a lot of dope games. And it hopefully hasn't reached the point where the games on the secondary market are so expensive that they're hard to get, and you can get them nice and cheap. Grizzly Reapers Super Chat says, real moment, I'm not enjoying my hobbies. I quit Magic, I'm stacking back on 40k, and video games are being ruined by live service, cash shops, etc. Do you or anyone in the chat have ideas about how to enjoy gaming again? Well, you know what, buddy? That's a great question, honestly. First of all, let me update the board. Thanks for the super chat. But that is an excellent question. You can get burnt out on your current fucking hobbies, and video games do have a lot of like extra crap built into them. So you have to be more selective with the games that you go with. And a good way to avoid a lot of the negative stuff is to go the independent route. Like games, for example, like Vampire Survivors, which is an incredibly inexpensive game, but is a lot of fun. I actually got Carly into it recently, and she's been enjoying it. I want to get the Contra expansion for it. I want to get the Castlevania expansion for it next. So I'm saving up my Steam cents from selling my Steam cards. But I would say if you have like a game collection kicking around and there's a bunch of games in it that you haven't played or never really fully explored, hop into one of those. You can try playing some free games. Like, for example, right now today, if you go to the Epic Games Store, they're giving away a game about setting up oil rigs and mining for oil. So you can give something like that a try. You can just go, boom, just grab whatever and try it. I've been trying random video games from my library, right? You can also go the nostalgia route and play old school stuff you already know that you enjoy. Or you can take a step back if you've played too many video games recently and they're not hitting the spot at all, and realize that you're looking for something else in the current time frame. There have been times in my life where I've been more into playing video games and times where I haven't really been playing any video games and been engaging with other things. So it could turn out that either you just need to reorient and try some weird ones, some Inscription, Stacklands. There's all kinds of crazy games and a bunch that you can get cheaply, right? I don't buy big expensive titles because they're too expensive for me. So when I buy games, I tend to get games that are either, if it's a big title, heavily discounted. Normally $80. We're selling it for $20 right now. And I'm like, okay, now's my chance. Jump on it and get the game, right? But at $80, never. And then when it comes to the smaller stuff, you can get some good games for like $5, $6, $10, which is a very affordable proposition considering the cost of a movie ticket or something else, right? But the big video game houses do not make products that are meant to be like, if you're used to old school gamer, you just get the whole package in one deal. Then you need to go with indie games where they're not trying to sell you anything extra. You get it all in one go. Jess, that's right. PS2 backwards compatibility for the PS1 is also a bonus. What up, Anger? How's it going, buddy? Giannis says, buy a classic car. What? How do I enjoy gaming again? Buy a car. What? How do I enjoy making dessert again? You should take flying lessons. What? What? Spider-Man 2, Soul Calibur 2, and Cool Borders. All right, Jess, you got the lineup going on, man. Fisher, yeah, Minecraft's awesome. Not everybody likes Minecraft, though, right? Different people, different experiences. So, a bunch of the games that I've played recently have felt okay. I played them and they didn't full on engage me, you know? I just went, eh. So, sometimes if you move outside the genres that you're normally used to, what you could do is if you have any friends who have a Steam account and you have a Steam account, or even if you don't have a Steam account, now that I think about it, you can use this service. You can use this service that they have on Steam where it's like Steam Family, and anybody who's in that family can play any games of anybody else. You'll have access to everybody else's games. So you could do that with somebody else who has a bunch of games that you don't, and then you get access to more stuff, right? Me and Carly have ours shared together. Grizzly, you got 200 titles on all your systems. Your game collection almost feels like a chore chart. Well, I mean, it sounds like maybe you just need to do something else. Maybe you're, like, if you don't feel like playing any of your gaming hobbies, right? Magic, 40K, all of it, and the gaming and stuff, like, ask yourself a bigger question. Are you happy in every part of life? Like, oh, I'm happy in, like, the other aspects of my life, but I'm not happy in the gaming aspect? Or is it that you're actually dissatisfied with everything? That's what it feels like, which means you don't actually 100% know what it is. Like, maybe you're just fucking depressed or some shit, as opposed to, it's just gaming. So if you're just zeroing in on that, but then everything else is also like, if you don't have interest in anything, then it's not just a gaming thing. But I thought to myself, I have a bunch of games that I haven't tried, and I'm going to try the approach of when I was a kid and I was excited, just like, you got a new game, I'm just going to try it right now. So I just boot random games up now and just jump into them and see what they're like. And if they grab me, I'm like, yeah, I'll play more of this. And if they don't, I'm like, I've been noting them down. I got a little notebook. I might actually do review videos talking about this stuff. I've recorded footage from some of them. I just toss the recorder on in the background while I'm playing them, because who knows? I might end up covering them. Edward, yep. Worrying too much about like video and graphics without actually giving you solid like gameplay and story. It's a big loss. Warcraft 2. Yeah, Warcraft, StarCraft. Man, I've played a ton of games over the years, but last year I didn't play that many games, so I decided that this year I was going to play more games, and I've been going out of my way to boot up and try more of the games that are sitting in my collection, while also actively I collect up the free games that they give away on the Epic Game Store. Like every Thursday, they put in a new one that's free for a week, and then around Christmas time, like what we just went through, they will give away something new every day. So I grabbed like 15 free games in the last month or so, which feels great. I like having them as possibilities, but if you never dive into them, and yeah, it can just feel like a big hassle if you have too many, but that's just a perspective, Edward, you only spend your time playing stuff that you enjoy? I'm trying out different things. There's certain ones where it's like, I know I really like Slay the Spire, and so I'm playing this game Astria, which is totally aping Slay the Spire. It's got the same kind of vibe. Nishimoto, you like exploding seals? I haven't heard of that one. But yeah, I have like probably about 180 free games in my Epic Games account. And then I have Steam. And sometimes people are nice and they fucking send me Steam codes and they hook me up with Steam games. So I have a bunch of games that I picked up myself over the years. And then other games that people thought I would enjoy. Grizzly, you're still motivated to exercise, work, and do all that? You're worried you're not really a gamer anymore? It's fine, man. Like, first of all, people change over time. And there's no point in lamenting over realizing that something isn't bringing you the entertainment you want out of it. Like, there's a lot of different things that can bring you satisfaction in life. So it sounds to me like you just get to explore, having a good time. Maybe you need to try different things overall, you know? Maybe you need to be around different people. Maybe you need to try different things. Because at the end of the day, maybe video games don't feel satisfying to you because it's like a false sense of achievement. What does doing anything in a video game actually mean or achieve? Nothing, really, right? So that might be the issue. But who knows? Millmaster, listen, man, what I tell you about trying to project chi through my live streams, bro? That's a no. You get the bell. Fucking chi disruption. Don't make me tell you again. Yeah, Skyrim was fun. I liked Skyrim. But yeah, there's been periods where I didn't play video games for a long period of time, and then I hopped back in and was like, yeah. Juggling, the whole gaming dynamic has changed and not for the better. Yeah, it does feel that way. Zircon, you just had a I'm living in the future moment. It still blows my mind. Oh, do you regularly hear spaceships launch? Yeah, that would be pretty crazy, man. We're just firing stuff into space, bro. Just firing stuff into space. Fisher, you recommend the Odd World games? There you go. But yeah, if it's just that you're overall unsatisfied with gaming right now, it doesn't matter what game you play. It's like if you're actually tired of having ice cream, trying to figure out a different flavor of ice cream, you know what I mean, isn't going to do it for you. Jacqueline just making up his own facts. More than half of streamers are cheaters. Zircon at least once a week. You buy the Space Force base in Cali, you're going to be drafted into the Space Force. They're going to fire you into fucking space, and they're going to leave you orbiting around the moon, but like by yourself outside. But catch any aliens or footballs that come by. Vault, you want some chi? Not on my watch. This is a chi-free zone. Your brother's a general. Oh, well, you will be generally useful. Fired into space. He'll get you that position. You've been given the very lofty position of space debris. No, wait, that's not what we call them. Space heroes. You will be a space hero. You're in the Space Force now. Spurl, I remember Earthworm Jim, bro. I remember that. Gianna says, stop gaming and eat more donuts. That's random. He works at Joint Space Command in Colorado. Like, he works on smoking weed in outer space, bro? That's pretty crazy. Getting spaced out in space. Ground control to Major Tom. I've got the munchies, motherfucker. Stupid. Oh. Silly. Edward, nowadays you're not much of a gamer. I don't know exactly where I fall on the gamer scale right now. There have been times where I'd play video games 8 hours a day. And sometimes I crack into them. I mean, I play arena pretty much every day. And that is technically a video game of a card game, right? So, there's that. And some Minecraft. And then the other games that I've been cranking out. But it definitely comes in waves, man. It definitely comes in waves. '90s Leisure Suit Larry. Yeah, Leisure Suit Larry was the only game that had like an unzip your pants icon indicator that you could use, where you could just try and jam your dong into everything, including electrical sockets. Those like point and click adventures, like King's Quest and all that, there's a certain quaintness to them. There's a lot of polish to games nowadays, but a lot of it's hollow polish. There's nothing underneath. Grizzly, yup, play the Ogre Tactics game. And also, that's true, do take a step back and not stress it. One of the biggest problems that we can have is overthinking, where you literally make the problem for yourself, where you're like, why can't I just think like this? Why can't I stop thinking like this? Why can't I just be this? And it's just a pointless litany that won't help you. So if you get caught up in that, it's a waste. Like, that's the thing. Sometimes in the past, I found myself happy, and then I'd question, why do I feel happy right now? And then trying to analyze the happiness and pull it apart can actually erode the happiness or dissipate it entirely. So but the human experience is bizarre. But the ultimate truth is, you're pretty much just experiencing yourself at all times. You're not experiencing anything else, really. You're just experiencing yourself experiencing it, which is it's a subtle difference, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, nobody can ever experience the you that you are fully. They can only ever experience themselves and their perception of you, you know? So they only see a fraction of what you are and your thoughts and everything else, all of it. It's just, existence is bizarre. And how your mind works, what you spend your time focusing on and using your mind for, becomes your actual reality, right? What people believe tends to be far more important in informing their decisions than reality, right? So Nishimoto says, Hatcher 2025, enjoy your meat suit. or I will. Just nothing is real. There's no point to a conversation like that. Like, nothing's real. It's okay. Sure. Anyways, I'm going to go and eat a sandwich now. You know? That's pretty much my response to that. None of this is real. Okay. I'm going to go eat some potato chips. Vault, you recall running home from the bus stop to connect to the BBS to play Legend of the Red Dragon before your friends could call the server first on a 14K dial-up? Yo, I fully get that, man. I remember playing Legend of the Red Dragon. I remember BBSs, and most of them were like, yeah, one person at a time, guys. But then some of the bigger ones, like, I can handle 5 people. Whoa, 5 whole different people. Grizzly, actually, I fully get it, man. I fully get it. That happens with people, right? You could take gaming and replace it with something else where it's like I've done this for a long time and it defines a part of your personality. So you're afraid like this is a part of my life and am I losing a part of myself? What am I getting in exchange? But you'll find like if you just compare what mattered to you when you were younger and what matters to you now, right? That's what happens. Me and my buddy were standing there talking one day about his new stove, how excited he is about it. He's just redone his bathroom. He's got a new stove and how amazing the stove is. And I'm like, yeah, we're talking about solid appliances. And it's like, we used to just be about getting fucked up and trying to bang hoes. And that was all we cared about, right? And now, all like, without any intentional change to that, we have just shifted into other priorities. You're not the same person as you progress through existence. You value different things. And what's the point in hanging on to something that's not making you happy, adding any value to your existence just because it used to, you know? And the awesome thing about video games is they'll be there waiting if you do want to come back. They're not going anywhere, you know? They're not like living beings that you only have a certain amount of time to capitalize on doing things with. They are just static there for whenever. Fisher, yeah, exactly. Mindset is key. Mindset is huge. It's huge. If you look for negative only, you'll find it. There's positives and negatives to a lot of things, right? And if you go too much in either direction, it's it's no good. It's no good. A little bit of either is fine. If you're going to go too much with one, I'd go too much with positive and at least live happy and delusional than too much with the negative and everything sucks, because you can always find a reason not to enjoy something. There's like those old people. What do you regret about your life? And it's like, I wish I had realized that happiness is a choice. And it's like, yeah, you are able to choose to be happy. It's not universal in terms of right in the moment when things are truly awful. You can't just be, I choose to be happy. But overall, you can choose to get worked up over little things and then let that emotional energy take you over. A little bit of that almond. A little bit of that almond getting caught in there, man. Mm-mm. Master, some might say there's no such thing as positive or negative, only our reaction to things. If you have a nice house and a meteor smashes into your house and insurance won't cover it and you're not homeless, you're not homeless. I mean, that's a negative thing. That's not a positive experience. So I don't believe it's that. I don't believe it's that universal. But with smaller things, you let small aggravations overtake you, and then it informs your entire day, and it makes your day genuinely worse, right? Like, and honestly, how you start your day, this is something a lot of people don't know, and I'm not good enough yet at really getting it rolling, but how you start your day really fucking matters. What you invite into your mind at the beginning of your day really matters. And by invite into your mind, I mean, like, are you pulling out your phone first thing and are you looking at the negative news? Are you looking at people fighting online? Are you looking at things that give you a pessimistic view of existence? That's how you're starting your day. It will influence a significant chunk of your day and can chain throughout the whole thing. Starting your day off with a mindset that at least isn't poisoned by just exposure. Like, it doesn't even have to be super blatant things, just things that will give you a downer view of how the world is going. It will impact you in a negative way. Grizzly Super Chat says, thanks for letting me derail chat for a minute. I appreciate the feedback, guys. It's all good, man. We talk about all kinds of different things here. And honestly, a lot of people don't take the time to stop and talk about the struggles that go on in terms of just trying to sort out what it is to be human and the challenges that we all face. And so, a moment to discuss it not only can offer something maybe to you, but also when you talk about something and explain it to somebody else, it helps to clarify it for yourself as well, right? So for me, talking about it helps to reinforce some of these things that I have learned and be a reminder to myself, because I too start off the day in a bad way sometimes. Milmass says, begin the day with a sign of the day's divinity. Yes, put up a picture of me and look at it when your day starts and say, oh, thank you, universe. Oh, I love Hatcher. He's the fucking best. Hallelujah. Thank the universe for existing so Hatcher has a place for me to enjoy him in. Thank you, Earth, for existing so that Hatcher may trot upon you. Thank you, sunshine, for existing so that you may create vitamin D through the skin of Hatcher, my savior. And if you start your day with gratitude and a picture of me, and that will change your attitude, okay? So you can put a picture of me up on the wall, and I give you permission, before you go out for the day, you're allowed to give it a little kiss on the cheek. Mwah. Bye, Hatcher. I'll be back later today. All right? I will infuse those pictures with highly sonic chi energy just through my natural resonance, and you will benefit. So that's me being a river unto my people. Nishimoto, I've never heard of free space. Juggle them, it's not the obstacles in life, but how we overcome them that define what we are made of. I mean, how you handle situations, obviously, is a big part of who you are. What up, Thompson? How you doing, buddy? Fisher, on work days, you don't even look at your phone until you're at work. Best to be chilling until you get to the cast. That's smart thinking. Grizzly says, this will be known as the day the Order of Hatcher was formed. What up, Rowdy? You just wanted to say thanks for the intellectual points that I've made. Recently, you changed in some ways. Quit a card game you've played since you were a kid. Quit game and you started working out. See, there you go. Well, I'm glad that what I had to say was worthwhile to hear. And like the whole working out thing, taking care of yourself, that shit is of massive value. I definitely for a long time in my life went that whole route of, look, man, I'm intelligent, I'm smart, I'm funny, I'm an intellectual, I don't need to worry about the physical side of things. But that is not the best way to approach things. The best way to approach things is to also take care of yourself physically, because then your mind's going to operate better anyways, right? So there's all these little things, but when you get more, when I'm less active, I feel worse. When I'm more active, I feel better. I wish that I had understood these lessons earlier when I was more spry than I am now, and then I could have just maintained what I had. Now I have to build back to a reasonable point and then maintain, but I've been appreciating the process. So exercising is a worthwhile use of your time. Sometimes I go, oh, I can't believe I've spent my time on this. And it's like, doesn't it make you feel better and happier though? And it's like, yeah. And it's like, and don't you get that throughout the day, all day? And like, and it's kind of ongoing. Yeah. Well, what else do you want to do with your fucking time? Sit around being a fat ass eating fucking chips and staring at something on a screen? I'm just going to stare at like a television show that doesn't engage me in any real way. Like, there's a time and a place for everything. Anything out of whack ain't great. But making changes that improve your life, realizing that it's okay. Like, do you just want to be the exact same person that you were 20 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever, with the exact same scenario? If change wasn't possible, you couldn't have gotten to where you are now, because you couldn't have built into whatever scenario you have. If you have a great scenario now, you couldn't have gotten into it without change. And if you're in a bad scenario, you can't get out of it without change. So, I mean, change is an inevitability and can lead to great things. So you got to find that balance between how do I take, like, I honestly deal with some similar struggles in terms of Magic the Gathering right now. I've been playing Magic for 30 years. And it's been a big part of my life in a lot of ways. It's intermingled with a lot of different relationships, and obviously I've got even more layers to it now that I do this on YouTube based on it as well. So there's a lot going into it, and Magic's undergoing massive changes right now with the universe beyond stuff and whatever else, and it makes you wonder where your place is in this thing. You know, you can feel a little misplaced by it. So whatever, but there's definitely been phases where you get into certain things and you're right into it, and then you just go whatever, and you just go in different directions. Mailmaster, your SATA production quality had your body pill and never became available. Oh, I forgot about that. I completely forgot about the body pillow people. I can't contact them now. That would be too embarrassing. Be like, hey, remember how you contacted me like a year and a half ago and we were going to do a body pillow, and then remember I didn't contact you for like 6 months, and then I contact you out of the blue going, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I forgot. If you still want to do this, let's do it. And they're like, yeah, we're still totally down to do it. And then remember how I didn't contact you again, and here I am now? Like, yeah. Vault, your wife passed in 2024. Oh, that sucks, man. Your buddy told you that you've been devastated by the brutality of life. You have a positive outlook. You think it's what got you through the moment. Well, good job maintaining positivity, bro, because I ain't even going to try and pretend that I can understand what you've gone through, because I can't literally think about it too much in terms of Carly and whatever, because if I do, I will start to get worked up. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not going to pretend like I can feel what you feel, but I can fucking imagine it. I can imagine it, and it is unpleasant. So good job making it through, maintaining positivity. It is an important thing, and it's something that I have struggled with a lot in my life, honestly. It's maintaining a positive outlook. It's easy to get pulled into negativity and be like an overthinker, a chronic worrier, right? I inherited some of that shit from my mom. She's hardcore with that stuff. So you try being fucking raised by a lady who has your dad cut the legs off of your high chair when you're a kid so that you won't fall, takes away the marbles from hungry hippos so you won't get hurt and give you grapes and stuff. Like, she's like a super warrior, man. Too much. So the cool thing is when you understand how the brain works, and then you can actually actively choose how you're going to think instead of just being a passenger along for the ride and going, I don't like this. You can go, no, I'm going to change this. We're going to go on a different ride. Nishimoto, words to live by, should try and change and have more sauces. You should have my sauce on your chin, bro. How about that? How about you have some sauce made out of dirt and thumbtacks? Oh, if you don't like it, well, you just need to take your own advice and try some more fucking sauces. Nishimoto, look at me. I think I got you in a gotcha moment. Yeah, you're fucking changing life and nothing will stay the same. Don't you want to grow? Want to try more sauces? Fuck you, you fat bastard. Put down the sauces and get on the fucking treadmill. Have some respect for yourself for once in your pathetic, greasy fucking life, alright? Suck my fucking taint like mama's buttermilk pancakes, you clown-faced fucking magoo. How about that? Fucking need to try more sauces. Get out of here with your bullshit. Grizzly, fucking look, man. When Wolverine is wearing a bikini in Magic, then come back. Vault, I have impacted you in a positive way. You've laughed a lot from watching, so thanks. Hell yeah, buddy. Hell yeah, making people laugh is fucking awesome. Gianna, Hot Tub Time Machine 2 is a fun movie. The first one is better. Like, the first Hot Tub Time Machine is a better movie, but the second one is genuinely entertaining as well. Oh, obviously, everything I say applies as well for telling me to cuddle a loot, too. Just so you know. What about buttered sausage? I bet you like buttered sausage. So yeah, change is a good thing. Change is a good thing. Comeback sauce at KFC. KFC is awful though. Like I can't even eat KFC anymore. KFC went from being my number one choice for fried chicken to I'd rather just not have any. You know? Like I haven't liked KFC now for probably a decade at least. I remember it still when they invented the double down, KFC was still a legitimate business. The double down was an insane concept, but they were still a legitimate business. Now, they're nothing. It's awful. Just awful. Thompson going Chattanooga sledding. Oh, I've heard about that. I've heard about you hill boys. Sparrow, the KFC by you is always so dry. Why do you keep fucking getting it then? If it's always so dry, like when I read a phrase like it's always so dry, why do you buy it then if it's crap? I won't go to restaurants that suck, man. Like there's fucking Subways within a reasonable walking distance of my place sometimes, depending on where I'm living. I'll never go there. Never go. Subway sucks, man. Fucking sucks. Same with KFC. Give me a Popeyes. Once upon a time, I lived at like a 3-minute walk from a Popeyes. And let me tell you right now, I plumped up. I had never had Popeyes before then. This is when I was living in Toronto. And I went to that Popeyes all the time. Add into the mix the fact that the owner liked me and was like, oh, you can trade the biscuit in for a mashed potato when you get yours. And it's like, okay. And then the one chick who worked there liked me. So I'd go in on Toonie Tuesday where they're just supposed to give you like a fucking wing and a leg or whatever. And she'd switch a full-on breast chunk white meat for one of those. So for like $2.50 or whatever it was, I would get so much food. It was awesome. But I ate there all the time and got fat. Jess, you only like KFC chicken? I don't know how anybody can like it. It's awful. Just awful. Unless you find some magical like franchise that somehow is doing a better job magically making it taste better. It could theoretically happen. The Pizza Downtown's pizza isn't very good, but there's a pizza that supplies the pizza to Niagara College, and their pizza's a lot better. When I went there, the pizza was better. So, I don't know. KFC has some good deals on the app, not just chicken deals. It's all breading and bone. Do they still sell like the loaves of bread? They used to sell loaves of butter or butter flavored bread. That was a long time ago. Rowdy, you eat KFC's macaroni and cheese? Oh, bro, really? Really? Jess, you eat chicken nuggets? Depending on the nugget. You know what? Every once in a while, give me like super hot, fresh McDonald's McNuggets, and I'm cool with it. Not all the time, but once in a while, I can get down with that. Mailmaster, what kind of tacos? Tic tacos? Yeah, it's too bad. I really loved KFC. I have fond memories of it from when I was a kid. Inner tubing down gravel and mud roads? Were you gravel embedded in your skin? Oh, what? I remember getting a bunch of like rocks embedded in my arm from a wipe out on my skateboard, man. I ended up like going up a hill and grating my elbow. I was on my way to a magic event, so I stopped in at the fucking bus terminal, went to the bathroom, and like held my elbow up to the mirror and like picked the rocks out of my arm. Ugh, I didn't like that. Oh no, wait, that's right. I didn't. No, no, yeah, I picked the rocks out of my arm at the bus stop, and then I went to the game store. And when I got there, I took paper towels and a napkin and made paper towels and tape and made my own bandage. What sauce with the chicken McNuggets? Honey. Honey. Sweet and sour is okay. It's an alright choice, but honey. Jess, you like chicken strips made from actual parts of chicken in non-blended form. Agreed. Agreed. That's the best kind of chicken. I like my chicken sandwiches to be that way too. I'm with you on that. Mac and cheese bowl for the win. I've never bought macaroni and cheese from any restaurant ever. I'm always just like, for me, macaroni and cheese is elbow noodles with cheddar cheese melted on it, and that's it. No Master says if you loved yourselves, you wouldn't hurt yourself with that slop. I understand that. I do eat junk foods, but I'm on the same train as you, Millmaster, where it's like we don't realize how poorly we're treating ourselves. And so much of the crap that they say that you hear when you're growing up, where it's like, you only have one body, you only get one life, take care of it. It's such like a dumb cliched thing, but it's absolutely true. You only get the one body and it is super fucking precious, and we're just like, we just fucking piss it away, bro. You're all beautiful butterflies and Papa can't watch you bash your wings against the walls. I can't save you. I can't save you. My precious children. I can't save you. But you're all beautiful to me. You're all beautiful. Even if you are destroying yourself, flying into the fire. Oh, Fisher, you ripped your left kneecap out. Damn. I never had anything that bad when I was a kid, but I did tear a chunk out of my knee when we were playing baseball. I looked down and there's just like blood running down my leg. Somebody pointed and there's like a huge chunk of my knee meat missing. I also have a big long scar up the side of one foot from when I stepped on a board with a giant nail on it that drove all the way up into my foot. So two people had to pull the board out of my foot. Oh, Grizzly, the hot sauces. It's too much for me, man. It's too much for me. Edward, yeah, Wendy's nuggets, not too shabby. They also have good chicken fingers. Carly likes the chicken strips. They don't call them chicken fingers anymore, do they? Really? Somewhere along the line, it all got turned into chicken strips. Juggling, when I read the first half of that, I literally thought you had like chunks of chicken in a in a smoker. Well, Master, your wife wants to get a grain mill and buy whole wheat berries now. It turns out wheat's full of nutrients if you don't grind it ahead of time. Huh. Well, I mean, you have to, right? She literally wants to buy a grain mill, and you're mill master, right? So you kind of have to. You don't really have a choice. Anything she wants to buy with mill in the name, like if she comes in and says, I want to buy this Milli Vanilli cassette and matching butt plug, you have to agree, right? You can't just blame it on the rain. Chicken wings with Frank's Red Hot, like tossed in Frank's Red Hot as like the sauce for it. I don't like the hot. I don't like the hot, bro. I do not like the hot. Chicken fingers are a specific part of the bird strips. Can be anything. Is that what it is? Are chicken fingers made out of the fillets? The fillets? Are chicken fingers the fillets? Nishimoto, who would have thought you'd be useful for something? Not me. Never would have guessed it. Fucking Millmaster's gonna end up living like it's the fucking 1200s. Well, now that we got a grain mill, we have to grow the grain outside. And it turns out that you need grain that's been chewed by goats under a sickle moon. What? Yeah. I'm like a druid peasant now. It's crazy. We do all kinds of pagan rituals and shit, but you know, my food now has 2% more vitamin A, so it was worth the conversion. Jess, when you worked in restaurants, you tossed down extra wings so you could try them before they went out and get a snack for quality control. Oh, tricky. Tricky. Man, all I can say is this conversation has made me want fried chicken, bro. I want some fried chicken. I'm actually totally getting the munchies now. Amish cheese. Never heard of that. Chewy, milling your own grain is still a better love story than Twilight. Listen, Twilight has sparkle vampires, bro. Like, imagine Dracula, but like the foil version. She found a local guy with a farm a few towns over that'll mail like 50 pounds of wheat for like $80. Calling it right here, guys. Tonight. Millmaster's marriage is on the rocks. It is going to fucking end. Here's how it's gonna go. The wife wants the fucking mill because the grain is healthier. And it's like she found a guy a few towns away from where Millmaster lives, right? To buy this stuff. But she's going to realize it's way cheaper to just go and live with and be with the farmer and have the grains firsthand. And then Millmaster will be stuck with his stupid mill and buying grain from them. So she'll be making fucking profit off it while he's crying into his grain oats. Why? Oh, why? Your wife's going to leave you for that farmer. I'm calling it. I'm calling it right now. She is going to go and whore herself out for wheat. She's going to be a wheat whore. Let me stand wearing nothing in your fields. Let me be your wheat whore. I'm blowing in the wind. Yay! Woo! Just you ate enough of the wings, they started bagging the wings and weighing them? Yeah, probably because fucking restaurants make their money based on margins and proper food control, and you're sitting there just eating shit, bro. You're basically just stealing food from the restaurant. Quality control. I gotta quality control all of them. 6 wings for them, 4 for me. Oh. Grizzly, you have a grain mill. You have 50 gallons of wheat. I got nothing, man. The apocalypse comes and I'm just going to be eating zombies and shit until I become one and roam around all crazy. I ain't going to be living in a hole in the ground going crazy like you guys. Oh. All right. Well, thanks for coming and hanging out, my friends. It's been a fun time. I hope you have an enjoyable rest of your day. And I will get back together with you guys again soon. Peace out for now. So long. Farewell.